When most people think of ramen, they imagine comfort in a bowl, hot broth, springy noodles, a slice of pork, maybe a soft egg, maybe a sheet of seaweed drifting on top. But ramen is more than comfort food. It is a story of migration, trade, hunger, reinvention, and the energy of a port city that helped change Japanese food forever, and that story begins in Yokohama. After Japan opened its ports to the outside world in 1859, Yokohama became one of the country's most important gateways for foreign trade. Chinese immigrants settled there, especially in what would become Yokohama Chinatown, bringing with them familiar cooking techniques, wheat noodles, and soup traditions that would slowly take root in Japanese soil. In the late 19th century, Yokohama was a city in motion. Dock workers, merchants, cooks, and laborers filled its streets. Restaurants and food stalls appeared to feed this growing population, and among them were Chinese eateries, serving noodle soups with pork. At the time, Japanese customers did not call it ramen. They used names like Nankin soba or later Shina soba, labels that reflected the dish's Chinese roots. What mattered most, though, was the experience. A cheap, filling, flavorful bowl that could satisfy workers quickly and warmly. In a busy port city, that kind of food had power. What made ramen special was that it was never simply copied from China. It changed almost immediately. Chinese-style wheat noodles met Japanese tastes, Japanese broths, and Japanese ingredients. The result was something hybrid, foreign in origin, local in character. Pork remained important, but the soup began to reflect the Japanese pantry too, with regional variations eventually using soy sauce, miso, kelp, bonito, chicken, and other local flavors. From Yokohama, the noodle soup journeyed onward. In 1910, a former customs official who had worked in Yokohama opened a Chinese restaurant in Tokyo and hired cooks from Yokohama's Chinatown. There, the dish was served as Shina soba, helping spread the style beyond the port. Over time, ramen shops, street stalls, and local variations multiplied. Yet Yokohama always remained symbolically important, because this was the place where the bowl first crossed into everyday Japanese life. It was not born in a palace or invented by a celebrity chef. It entered history through ordinary streets, immigrant kitchens, and the appetites of working people. That humble beginning is part of why ramen feels so democratic even today. Then came the harder decades of the 20th century: economic stress, war, and hunger. After World War II, noodles became even more important as Japan struggled to feed itself. Ramen was affordable, practical, and deeply satisfying. The year 1958 became another turning point when Momofuku Ando invented the world's first instant ramen. That invention did not happen in Yokohama, but Yokohama later embraced and celebrated this new chapter of noodle history. Today, the city is home not only to the Shin Yokohama Ramen Museum, opened in 1994 as the world's first ramen-themed amusement park, but also to the Cup Noodles Museum Yokohama, where visitors can trace how instant noodles grew from one invention into a global food culture. And that is why a bowl of ramen is never just a bowl of ramen. In Yokohama, it is a map of history. The noodles carry the memory of Chinese migrants crossing the sea. The broth carries the taste of Japanese adaptation. The city itself carries the rhythm of ships, labor, commerce, and change. Every steaming bowl tells the same quiet truth. Great foods are rarely pure, and they are never still. They travel, they mix, they survive, they become home somewhere new. So, the next time you lift a pair of chopsticks over a bowl of ramen, think of Yokohama, the port where cultures met, where a humble noodle soup found a new identity, and where one of Japan's most beloved foods began its remarkable journey.